you're watching, and many of you watch the replay, so please type in hashtag replay so I know that you've watched this video. This is about investing in property and creating financial freedom. This is for our freedom tribe. So if you want to invest in property, you want to create freedom, you should be watching this, so pay attention. But if you get offended easy and you're a snowflake, I suggest you switch off now because it's probably not for you.
My mate George here, he retired at the age of 37 by investing in property. Mate, I feel like I'm with royalty today.
I think George is a great mentor because he really does care. The George I know, I met him 3 years ago, he does care. That's why he does his work. So I can talk to you about cash flow and all those things. George is better at that than me.
Property guru George Markowski from Positive Property Solution joins us now. George, good morning to you.
How are you, George?
Okay guys, me and my team are about to go live, so make sure you grab your beverage of choice, sit down, and you're in for an amazing show. Okay, hello and welcome guys.
Hello, freedom fighters.
Hey Stacey, good to see you.
Hey.
Now, just to give you a bit of background, I've just come back from 5 weeks, 3 weeks in Bali and 2 weeks in Japan. Konnichiwa, arigato gozaimasu. Hi. So I've been learning my Japanese. And
Konnichiwa to you too, whatever that means.
That's right. And
hello.
Look,
Yeah.
Yep, that's the konnichiwa is hello, and arigato gozaimasu is thank you very much, with lots of kindness and lots of bowing. I went to a shopping center there and they actually hired a lady to sit at the bottom of the escalators and just bow at everyone going off the escalator.
Oh wow. That was her job.
That's that being the job, right? Now, tonight we're going to be talking about how do I know I'm purchasing the right property, right? And I think that's a really good question because a lot of people are asking that. And the question, deeper question there is, how do I know that George is getting me the best property? Because I think that's another question people are asking. So let's just open up because, guys, if you're listening, please type in the chat, type in hashtag live if you're watching live, and hashtag replay if you're watching the replay. So far, I can't see any chats. It'd be great to see some chats. Now, guys, any questions about how do I know I'm buying the right property, purchasing the right property? Also, how do I know George is getting me the right property? Ask the questions because I'm going to answer. I'm going to reveal all. Right?
Absolutely. We had a few of them. I had a few people ask me that this week, so I thought it'd be awesome to cover it in the live.
Yeah. And look, how important is it to get the right property? You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of different things that we're looking for in the right property. So what the right property? Hi, Michael. How are you? Carpenter. How you doing? I can see a few people's names on here. If you say a comment, type in your name as well, then I know who you are because we're using a platform called Restream and we're going live to like 10 channels. So we've actually got literally tens and 20s and hundreds of people all over the world listening, but mainly in Australia. Okay.
Yeah, fantastic. Okay, so we had one here. I'll bring that question up, George.
Yep, go. Yep.
Okay, so I had the same question. Me and my partner are currently saving for a property and are skeptical about joining. We're paying over $1,000 a month and it's just an expense for us at the moment.
Okay. Paying $1,000 a month in regards to saving money or for the program? But we'll find out.
I'm not. Yeah, we'll find out. So
But it's an expense at the moment. So look, let's say, for example, let's do the numbers because at the end of the day, numbers talk, bullshit doesn't talk. And really, we need to look at numbers, right? The program, Because at the end of the day, what we want to do is, as savvy investors and the wealthy investors, what we want to do is we want to get the maximum benefit out of our money, right? And a lot of people will be thinking this: why should I pay a mentor to help me when I can use it as a deposit, right?
Yeah.
I can use it as a deposit, right? And that's important. And what I want to do is ask you this question. Imagine that you're in Las Vegas, right? and you've just joined the big competition, the poker competition, right?
Okay.
Right? Imagine you're in Las Vegas and the pot's 100 grand. You've got to put 100 grand in, right?
Yeah.
Now, you come up to me and go, George, I'm about to put 100 grand in, and imagine that I was one of the best poker players in the world. If I said to you, look, give me 10,000, but your pot's lower now. You only got 90,000, but you've got one of the best poker players in the world playing for you. Would you rather have 100,000 in your pot and play poker against everyone else, or would you rather get one of the best players in the world and give him 10 grand and use 90? What was the answer? Guys, let me know. What would you do?
Absolutely. And the thing is, I guess you can look at it, if you look or talk to any of our past members and members that have been with us for quite a while, they've forgotten about the membership.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
after you've paid it and you've got your first property, the property is made so much that you've basically swapped your membership for what, 10, 20 times the amount, 30 times the amount of the membership you paid.
Well, some
You've
people have
multiplied it
actually,
12 months.
some people have made 1,000% return on the money for the membership, right?
Yeah.
1,000%. You know, there's companies out there that talk about getting 5 to 9% returns, and they're proud of that, right?
Yeah.
I'd be hiding my face in shame. 5% return. You know, we can do a lot higher than that. And on your investment in the actual program, I expect you to make, 1,000%.
Yeah.
Not just 100%, 1,000% return. That's the sort of percentage you should be getting on a program. And you know what? If you're getting 1,000% return, would you be stupid not to do it?
Yeah.
Total.
And then, yeah. And are you doing your research on the company? That's one way to find out.
Totally.
Success
Check
leaves
out the
clues.
research. Yes, and you know what? You need to see, are these people around? Are they giving good content? Does the person giving the advice, does he know what he's doing? Right? There's so many people out there that aren't qualified to give advice. And I'm not talking about qualified by the government, because that doesn't matter. I'm talking about qualified by experience, right? I've actually got a QBE in property. Do you know what a QBE is?
QBE.
I've got two. Yeah, so I've got an MBA and a QBE.
I know what that one is.
There you go. So these are the two most important qualifications you need, right? So if you're going to get someone helping you invest, make sure they've got an MBA and a QBE. If they got those two things, then you're set. Okay. So an MBA, what is an MBA?
Massive bank account.
Right? So seriously, if you want business advice of someone, get someone with a massive bank account. If you want property investment advice, massive bank account. Then you need QBE, qualified by experience, not at a university, not in a school. They've actually gotten the hard roads, right? Because my qualifications are street cred. I've done it on the street. I wasn't rich when I started. I started like an average person. Actually, I came from a poor family, and I made my money from scratch. It's very different.
Secondly, the people working for you, they started as investors.
Yes,
we're not just talking about it; we're doing it as well.
Yeah, totally. I mean, Stacey, you're a successful investor, so which is great, and that's why you're passionate about doing what you're doing. So I love that, because a lot of times, I'll talk online and people are like, "Oh, you're a rich bastard. Why don't you help people and give your money away?" And look, I don't want to give my money away, and I'll tell you why. Because if you give a handout to people, it's not going to work. But you know what I want to do? This is what we're doing. We're giving people a hand up. And when you give people a hand up, that's really important. But let's talk numbers, because I want to be really, really clear on this. And I want to talk real numbers. So let's say, for example, do you know how to open up the whiteboard and draw on it?
I have not done that on this before. Well, there is a share screen.
Yeah, it's a share screen. Not what I want. Is there a whiteboard?
Secondly, why would you go to someone like yourself? I know you're saying you'd go to someone like yourself because of the experience, but secondly, some people think they can get the same deal on their own. And what I was trying to explain is that Sometimes you've got to have this network behind you where people actually know who you are. So if you're talking to a developer, then that developer knows who you are. They're more likely to you're more likely to be able to negotiate a better deal than I would individually, correct?
Look. Let me explain what a better deal is, though. That's the important part, right? So the deal is if you go direct to a developer, right?
Yeah.
Their priority is to sell you something they can't sell. They're going to give you the worst property they can because they know you're on your own. You don't know how to do your research. They're never going to see you again. They don't care. So unfortunately, real estate agents and developers are going to sell you the worst property they have. They're going to sell you the property they can't move. That's what they want to do.
Yeah.
Right? Now, because of my reputation, because of the size of our group, they can't do that to us.
Yeah.
They give us what we want. So what happens is when there's a new development, we get the first option. I get all the good stuff for us anyway. And whatever's left over, that gets handed to other people. So if you do it on your own, you're going to get the John West rejects. So if you heard of John West, you're going to get the rejects. You're going to get what I reject if you're even lucky to get the rejects. Because my rejects, a lot of people would love those and they line up to get them. There was a lineup for one property group we did. The properties I left over, there was like 200 people that were waiting in line for 20 properties.
Yeah, right.
And
they're the ones we didn't want.
That's the ones I rejected, not the good ones. The good ones I took for all our clients and our staff.
Why would you reject it? Same location, you're looking the same location. You've got some, but you rejected some?
So look, depending on where they were, some of them were next to a railway line.
Okay.
Right. So what happens in a railway line is you get a big turnover of tenants. And it's a hassle because they're always moving out, moving in, moving out, and you're spending all these fees doing it. So there's certain properties, if properties are in a noisy area or if they're near a railway line or there's large power lines or something like that, then I usually say no because I want a nice street appeal because street appeal makes a massive difference when it comes to renting a property and selling it.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
So street appeal is very
in
important.
relation to the question earlier, George, where the person is talking about paying a membership and then they're straining their own pockets at the moment, it's getting through that first 12 months, that tough part that they have to really get over that hump because after that you'll be fine. But right now, hang on because it's going to be so worth it if you can.
Yeah, look, the things that are good in life are hard. Now, if investing was easy, everyone would be doing it. And I guess part of the reason having a mentor is the mentor will keep pushing you through and make you accountable and make sure you do it. Because if you spend money on a membership, you're more likely to invest than thinking about one day I'm going to do it. But not only that, if there's a problem, and there's always a problem, if there's something wrong when you do your building inspection, most people don't even do a building inspection on new property, we do. Then what happens is, if you're one person, the developer doesn't care, because what are you going to do? But when we've got buyers group, but we've got such a big buyers group, they need to make sure that we are happy.
Do we have to wait 12 months?
No, you don't. No, you don't. It depends, because some people need to wait 12 months. The reason being, someone said Yasul, George, which is hello in Greek. Hello, Yasul. Basically, some people need to wait for two reasons. One, to get their finances in order. Two, to get their mindset right. Because we don't let people go ahead until they get their financial house in order or get their mental house in order.
We've got another one here. What's this one?
Okay.
So I'm a member with one property rented and a second house and land about to start building in 30 days. I got these through Positive Property. We estimate the build has made $150,000 due to COVID delays. So many fees are nothing compared to the return. Exactly.
There you go. So we've got a member and they've made 150,000 equity already while getting their property. So that's pretty amazing. So, let's say they paid 10 grand, got 150 grand back. That's like 1,500. Well, it's actually 1,500% return, which you're not going to get anywhere else.
No, and it's extremely hard to save $150,000 in 1 year.
Yeah, totally. But we've been averaging over 35% for our members. 35%. That's our average. Now, most, if you look at most property and stocks, you're getting maybe 5 to 7%.
Yes, 7%. I think I've heard that quite a bit.
Yeah. How do you know when your mindset is ready? Good question. Look, the mindset part is one of those things where when you get ready to invest, you're fearless and you can do it. And you don't have negative things inside your head or negative people in your life stopping you from going ahead. Because what happens, I see this all the time, people have got the ability to invest, but mentally they can't do it. So what happens is when they get there, they find excuses. They're like, oh no, interest rates are high. Oh no, COVID. Oh no, my uncle. But you say they make excuses, but the thing is...
Need a safety net.
Yeah, you can't bank excuses. And what you need, you need a coach to kick you in the butt and just make you do it. Because property is one of those things where you got to buy property and then you got to wait. So you need someone to kick. Okay, someone's been waiting 14 months, delays, stop, start. Yeah, look, what's happened over the last year or two, it's been challenging because lots of builders going broke. And because builders are going broke, I have to be even more fussy with who I use because we don't want the builder going broke. So we've got to be really careful. So there's not a lot of
The second part to that, George, David was talking about this last week, and he said that sometimes you'll start off quite slow. So you might get one property in 2 years and then one property in the next 2. But then all of a sudden you'll go bang, 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 bang and get a heap in the last and still get your 10 and 10, but you're not going to be consistent. Sometimes it happens like that.
It does. It's not a straight curve. It's a jump. So what happens is suddenly you got more equity and then you got more cash flow and then you got more borrowing capacity. It keeps going. You know what I mean? That's the thing.
I had the same thing happen to me at the beginning, actually. And there's always some sort of struggle or something that happens, and then all of a sudden you'll just find it just goes, all of a sudden you've got 3 when you were like, I can't seem to just settle on 1.
Yep, exactly. What's the use of equity? Serviceability matters more. Yeah, serviceability goes up and down though. So when you got equity, you can hold that, and so what's going to happen recently? And I predicted this is going to happen. I predicted that interest rates were not going to go up anymore, and it happened. And sooner or later, they're going to go down. And when they go down, your serviceability goes up. So when everyone's serviceability goes up, guess what's going to happen? There's going to be another boom.
Everybody's borrowing capacity. Everybody's borrowing capacity goes back up.
You really got to get in now, guys. I'm telling you, I'm warning you.
Before that happens.
I'm warning you. You're going to kick yourself. Get involved. Get a property before interest rates go down, because once they go down, it's going to be harder. We've got such an undersupply in Australia when it comes to properties. We're severely undersupplied, and it's just going to get worse. Property is got a blue sky at the moment. It's going to keep going up. And so
if it's tough, if it is tough right now, can you imagine what's going to happen? When those interest rates drop and then everybody else jumps into that market, how tough is it going to be then? And these people that like us now, we're ahead of the game. We've done that.
That's right.
We've invested now.
That's right. I love it. Exactly. So how do you know you're purchasing the right property? A lot of people are saying, like, how do I know I'm getting the best deal on a property? Because what we do is when I talk to a developer, I work out a reasonable deal, right, that we're going to get for our members, but I pay market rate. I don't try to crunch them and get a deal out of them, because if the developer's not making a profit, one, they're not going to deal with us for much longer, are they? Two, I don't know how good a job they're going to do on that property. So when you do a situation, it's got to be a win-win-win. Everyone has to win, because if there's one person in the equation that doesn't win, you can't sustain that long term. So long term, you got to do that, right?
Like you get what you pay for, sort of thing. Analogy.
Analogy is something like that. So let's say, for example, that you want to shop around and we've got a $500,000 property, right? We're paying 500. You want to shop around and you want to get something a little bit cheaper. And let's say you found a similar property for 490 and you saved 10 grand,
Yeah.
right? And let's say you went through the build and everything worked out and you didn't have to use the buying power and you didn't have to worry about the circle of safety, and you found a dream team and you got them all together and you got everything right. You got the right property manager, the right building inspector, the right depreciation schedule, the right ITWB, the right accountant, the right coach, everything else. Let's say you did it all yourself and you got it done right. And then in 7 or 10 years, that property is going to double, right? That's what properties do. And that $500,000 property is going to be worth $1 million. Now, the person that did it on their own and they saved 10 grand, let's say, and they got everything perfect, and the chance of them getting everything perfect is very, very small, but it can happen.
Slim. Yeah.
Put enough time in and effort. Now, they save 10 grand, so they're going to make 510,000, where someone can come to us, do 1 hour, we do all the work for them, and they're going to make 500. Now,
And they got no stress, not as much.
And they know they got something that's going to work, because we've had 100% success rate of our clients. Not one person's lost money, right?
Yeah.
So now, if you made 500,000 instead of 510,000, but no stress, and you knew it was going to work, what would you rather?
Wouldn't it be worth it? Exactly.
Yeah.
And I didn't, and there was something that happened at the beginning of my journey, George, that I did not mention to you. But when I was offered my first property from Positive Property, I actually got a hold of the contact details for the developer.
Yep.
And I rang the developer and I asked them for another property. Because I was testing, because I was checking this company out. They offered me a property, but it was $40,000 more.
Oh, there you go.
$40,000 more than the property that Positive Property got for me, because I was an individual person who they didn't know who I was, ringing up and asking them for a property. So there's power in that alone.
And that property was probably one I rejected, because
Probably.
So,
but I was new. I wasn't working for you back then. I didn't know it worked. I was checking. But just so you know. All right, so let's go.
Someone's asking a question. If you want to,
Okay, we're in the same boat. This one here, we're building our first home and half done, like watching grass grow, currently renting. We've made considerable growth in the property so far, even though it's not completed. I want to get an investment property, but don't know how to make the move.
There's more to it.
The whole thing didn't show up. Sorry, don't know how to make the move while building. We're having reasonable savings and own a company. Do I buy under the company?
No, definitely don't buy under the company. If you own a company, your company is the most dangerous thing you've got that could get sued or go broke. So you want to keep it. One thing you got to watch out when investing in property is you've got to look at asset protection and protect your assets. And if you've got a trading company, you can't use that company, because that's not protecting assets, it's actually exposing your assets. So you want to protect your assets from the primary income earner in the family and any business or companies you've got.
Yeah, fantastic.
How do you do it at the same time? It's tough. You really need to make sure, when you're in the middle of building one property, most of the time I say don't buy another property, because it's quite dangerous, because it's risky. But you can do it depending on your circumstance, your cash flow, and how much money you got in the bank and everything else like that. We need to calculate that out, because you need to have enough money in your offset account to cover delays where you're not going to get rent, but you still got to pay for the building getting built.
Yeah, absolutely. Are $500,000 properties still available at the moment, George?
Yes, they are. They're rare as hen's teeth, but they are.
Yeah.
Siri's talking to me for some reason.
Belinda Douglas, fantastic member of ours, has brought a friend in with her recently, George.
Oh, really? Oh, welcome,
Yeah,
Belinda. Excellent. What I was going to ask is, who is in Brisbane? Because I'm coming to your town.
Oh, fantastic. When are you going? I have had a few people ask.
Great. I'm going to Brisbane next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday?
And Thursday night, next Thursday night, I'm not going to be on here, because I'm going to be at a bar, at a pub, nice little local pub. I'm going to invite our members and also people in the group. So Radelaide. Yep. So guys, the Brisbane people, make sure you come and meet me. We're going to set up an event in the thing. You're on the Gold Coast. Perfect. That's close enough. You can drive up. I've got people driving up from the Gold Coast. Come down and meet me in person. That way you know I'm real. A lot of people, when they meet me, they're like, George, you're real. I'm like, yes, I am.
Yeah.
Not an AI.
It's some pretty good animation here.
Look, with AI these days, you never know.
Yeah, I know. That is true. That is true. Actually, George, we are going to have to run very, very shortly.
Exactly.
And we're going to go
That's
through
right.
to our members group.
We're going to go to our private group now, guys. So, guys, look, thank you for joining us. Next Thursday, I'm going to be in Brisbane. We're going to have someone else run the SHRP, but come along. It's been great. It's been an exciting session. It's been great. And look after yourself. And all I can say is one more thing. Where's the meetup details? It's going to be in Brisbane, I think in Sunnybank.
Should we put it in the Facebook?
Yes,
group?
we're going to set up a thing, definitely.
Make
Now,
sure you're
just before
following
I
us on
finish,
Facebook.
I want to say, arigato gozaimasu. Hey.
Same to you.